everyone, Randy here, and we're playing Farming Simulator 17 on the Hobbs Farm. And since last episode, went ahead and finished up harvesting the corn here on Field 11. Now moving on to Field 10 here. The last of the corn here from Field 11. And I don't believe we have any course play courses here set up for Field 10 yet, so we'll have to do that here for starters. We just have the chaffing course there. The bunker is still fermenting yet, by the way, so it'll probably be an episode or two before we actually get to selling that silage that's down there. Speaking about fermenting bunker, see, I think this bunker's actually done. It compacted, not quite. But yeah, we can get this bunker compacted here as well. So again, I think I mentioned this last episode, but it looks like we get the same amount of grass, regardless of whether we chop it or if we, mow it the way we did and use the forage wagon to pick it up. Or at least really close anyway, close enough I wouldn't worry about the numbers too much. Yeah, we'll just drive across this here a couple times, get this compacted. There we go. Oh, didn't quite make that turn. Oh, I got a loader parked. Normally I park the tractor there, but okay. We'll just park the tractor here then. That'll work just as well. And blanket the silo. Okay, back up to the cornfield here. And let's have you, no, not that one, drive the course here. Went ahead and sold another 2 loads of sunflowers, by the way. I set course plate actually just sell 2 loads. That way the price doesn't go down too badly. Actually not too bad at the moment, I guess, is it? Definitely has gone down, though. Anyway, we'll head over to Field 10 here and figure out how we're going to create a course play course for this field. And for those of you watching the Texas multiplayer videos, we're getting really close to 10,000 cows on Texas. At least when I was on yesterday anyway. We're basically 2,500, that's 2,500 cows away from our 10,000 cow goal. So getting really, really close. And of course, once we hit that goal, by the way, we'll probably be switching maps. Again, County Lines was the map that was mentioned, so that's probably the map we'll go to. We'll see once. I'm not entirely sure on that yet, but that is the map we were talking about doing next. Okay, so we need some combines to be emptied here. Normally, I always create the truck course first, though, so we better do that here. Why did you not fully unload? That's kind of weird. Anyway, we'll unload that course. We don't need that. Okay, and we'll head out to Field 10 here. And like I said, always create the truck course here first. That way you can line that up with the grain cart. Speaking of which, I don't know why it wasn't lining up on Field 11 there. That is still kind of a bit of a mystery there to me as to why the grain cart and the truck weren't lining up. I think I've pretty much used the same truck here this entire series on Hobbs Farm, so it shouldn't be the truck that's causing the issue. The only thing I can think of is maybe a different waiting point because the RT tractor there, the 9560 RT, and that grain cart. But again, that shouldn't be that bad. You know what? I think we'll put the... Then we can make a loop around the farm here. We'll put the horse over here. Back this up here a little bit. And sometimes, you know, a little bit of planning ahead goes a long ways with course play, trying to keep it out of stuff it shouldn't be into. Okay, we'll start course recording. Like so that way we can just kind of pull out this way here. And I probably won't go through the main farmyard there just because I usually have all that equipment in the way. We'll just go around here. It might be a little bit longer this way, but hopefully a little bit safer. And drive across the unload spot there. And then back to the start point. Again, usually when I end the course there, always stay back a little bit from the start point. Course play can find its own way. I see we got one pallet of wool in there. Speaking of wool, probably need to be cleaned again. And the greenhouses need to be refilled, and I missed my turn. Not a problem. I'll trash that. And we can go back here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I did miss my turn. Okay. Need to turn by the water tower here. Used to going all the way down to the end there for the bunkers and the sell points that are down that way as well. Okay, and stop, and we'll save that as field 10. Overload truck. Again, that's the naming sequence I like to use. Doesn't really matter whatever you folks want to call it. Okay, and then for the grain cart. And like I mentioned in the past, I've always found it works best to stay back away from the truckaways. It seems like when course play comes from opposite ends of the field, it doesn't start at the start point. It sometimes just picks a point that's a point or two away from the start point and goes there instead. We'll try to leave room for course play to make some weird turns and whatnot. Okay, hopefully that's far enough. Start course recording. And again, folks, these courses are quite easy to create. Nothing too complicated about what we're doing here. And, you know, once you create one or two of them, it's pretty easy after that. Okay, waiting point. Actually, you know what? I think somebody was asking here last episode. They were having trouble on creating these courses. So if you're still watching, we just went through kind of the whole process right here. And stop point and save. And I always call this the tractor course. That way I know it's the overload part for the tractor and then the overload part for the truck. Okay, and he can drive the course. Of course, make sure he's in overload mode. That's the third one here. Very important. And also keep in mind, if you want to use the automatic unload feature, which, seeing as how I have two combines on the field, you're probably going to want to use, at least in the setup I have anyway, with one grain cart. You're going to want to have both the combines and the overloading tractor on the field. Otherwise, the automatic feature will not work, and course play will not be able to automatically detect the combines. If either one's off the field, course play will not detect them. You know, so sometimes, actually just had it before I started recording here, the combine's like, why is the combine not getting unloaded? Went over and checked. Oh yeah, the combine finished at the end of the row turned around. Beats me as to why it turned around. I'm not sure on that. It was full. But turned around and was sitting at the very end of the field there. Just off the field. It wasn't quite on the field. And, of course, because of that, of course, we could not detect it. Anyway, this episode, don't really want to harvest corn. I want to start cultivating. We got fields 2 and 3 here that need to be cultivated yet. And I figured we'd try out our new John Deere 9620R tractor here. Again, somebody hopefully fixed this tractor for us so it actually works. And then we just got the 9560R tractor over here that we've been using before. Hopefully you can actually see kind of the difference between the 9620R tractor here, the newer 9R tractors versus the older 9R tractors here. At least I'm assuming this is modeled after a 9R. I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm not entirely sure this is right either. Something about the cab doesn't quite look right, but at least looks like it's much closer to the way it's modeled as opposed to, again, the 9R that's over here. So anyway, we'll just hire a worker on you. And then I'm going to go over to field 3 here and start cultivating there. 9620R, by the way, would have 620 horsepower. At least should anyway. There's probably a boost number behind that as well. I don't know off the top of my head what that would be, though. And get rid of the offset there a moment. Lock on the GPS and away we go. Oh yeah, looks like this tractor can pull the cultivator with no problem. The 9560, there's probably actually a little under horsepower. I don't remember how much horsepower does this cultivator take again. Takes 500. So actually, yeah, the 9R would have enough. This obviously should have more than enough at 620 horsepower. And this particular pack of tractors, by the way. Let's see if I can find the right one here a moment. That's the 9560. Oh, let's see. I must have gone past it. Right. That's the 9630. Do have some Olivers here as well. Again, they just didn't seem like they fit on this map with the large equipment. So hopefully maybe next map we'll actually get to use some of the... Oh, here we go. Some of this other equipment here that I have tractor-wise. So yeah, so we got a 9420, a 9520, and a 9620. Twin wheels, standard. Wheel weights. The standard, I'm assuming, are single wheels, which, again, folks, just does not look right to me. And then triple wheels. That's, of course, what we got on the tractor we're using right now is triples. Anyway, we'll read some comments here in a moment. Tyler was saying you should add a face cam and play on Xbox One. I do not have an Xbox One, nor do I have a face cam. Maybe we'll look at maybe getting like a face cam at some point here. I'd have to figure out how to integrate it into my setup, though. Not a really good spot to put a face cam, so. Redneck Gaming was saying, how do you get the snowblower that's in the video? The snowblower, the official title is actually the Frazee, or the milling machine. So Frazee or milling machine, and pretty much all the mod sites have that mod. I'm pretty sure I have a link in my mod list as well. And just a reminder again, for anybody wondering where I get the mods I have, make sure you check the mod list. I think even the 9620 is in there. Though keep in mind where I downloaded the 9620 from, it was no good. It did not work properly. So somebody fixed it for me. And before anybody asks, no, I will not be sharing it. Not because I'm some sort of prick or nothing, but because I do not have permission to share it. I will not share it. Donald saying, great video as usual. Can't wait to see the next map and how long it will take to sell all the silage. Yes, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes to sell the silage. Edward was asking as well, what was the name of the blower there we used to load the straw? I've searched your mods and cannot find it. Again, it's called the Frazee. I think it's Fraese, if I remember correctly. Again, we call it the snowblower, but again, the official name is the Frazee. VDVK was asking, do you have a Farming Simulator 2015 server? No, we do not. We do not have a Farming Simulator 2015 server. We have 3 Farming Simulator 17 servers. Cody was suggesting you should use a conveyor belt to sell the silage on the Hobbs Farm. Would be a little easier. Yes and no. We might have to look into that. We'll see once. I'm actually thinking maybe the snowblower there might be the easiest way. We'll see once. Evan was asking for the next map. Can you do Mustang Valley Ranch? That is a possibility. Oscar was saying that planter's way overkill. You should be using the bigger Case 1455 to pull that. That was a few episodes back, by the way. Thunderbird Lead was asking, how did you get your truck like that? Do you have a power unwasher? Yeah, so those who've seen the new truck there we have on the Texas multiplayer server. I think it's on the other server as well, but we have a couple of them on Texas. That truck gets very, very dirty. It's the Peterbilt 379 flat top. Ryan was saying that is one hardcore road train. Yes, you like that? I forget how many trailers are on it again. I think it was like 32 or something like that. Michael was saying there from last episode, trying to get the tractor to unload to the biogas plant when it was finished with the course there. He was saying when you have 2 courses loaded and the primary one finishes, you need to delete the course and just reload the unload course, and it will handle that. So that's a good point. I'll have to remember that. So like he was saying there, for those of you who've seen that, we were using course play to load the grass there from the field. We had created a field work course, and then on top of that course we had loaded an unload course. So basically what Michael there is saying, at least the way I understand it anyway, you know, once the field work course is finished, unload that, and then just reload just the unload course, and then course play will, you know, go and do its thing like it's supposed to. 9RT has reached, it seems like that's been sitting there a while. Oh, it's working. Okay, excellent. Like everybody's behaving over here. About time. A lot of tractors to tab to in that group, by the way. Sure, my GPS is locked on here a moment. Seeing how there we go. Seeing how I couldn't see it there. Robert was asking, where do you get your John Deeres from? I get them from all different mod websites. Again, primarily I like to, you know, stick with Mod Hoster, FSUK, American Eagle Modding, American Style Modding, the more reputable mod sites. But unfortunately, there is a lot of good mods that can be found on the less than reputable mod sites as well. And yes, unfortunately, there are a large number of very unreputable mod sites that, again, I don't particularly recommend. But like I said, unfortunately, there's a lot of good mods on them sometimes as well. Panda Games was saying you can call New Holland better because New Holland bought Case IH. Gaming with Caleb was saying, thanks for letting me play with you, but I couldn't do much better than 10 FPS. Oh, bummer. Yeah, 10 FPS. That definitely is not a very playable number. So, let's see what's wrong with the 9RT. Yes. Sometimes just starting and stopping them and starting them again works. The American Fox was saying, don't you love it when your internet is so slow that at 144p, you need faster internet without buffering. Wow. Yeah, if your internet cannot handle that resolution, that's pretty bad. Yeah, even my internet connection at times, that's about the best it can do. But yeah, thankfully we were able to get it fixed here a couple months ago, so it seems like it has been much, much better since then. And at least for those who watch the live streams, hopefully you can agree as well. I mean, obviously it can be better yet, but it is definitely much, much better than what it was. Wildman was asking, what are the red markers on the side of the combine? Well, I'm assuming the red markers you are talking about are the same ones that are on the side of the cultivator here. Those are the GPS lines from the GPS mod. Why is this open again? I thought I closed that. Oh, that's probably why. But yes, GPS mod there, probably one of my arguably most favorite mods. And again, that's the red and green lines here. The red lines signify the width of the implement. In this case, the cultivator we're using, or in the case of the Wildman's question, the width of the header on the combine. The green line is the center line, and that is also the line that the steering is locked onto. So if you have the mod, Control W there. Oh, not that one. That's Control E. Control W. And you can lock on the steering. And then the GPS will automatically steer the tractor. You can even have it automatically turn, stop at the end of the field, etc., etc. I do have a video demonstrating all that. If you want to check that out on my channel page under the how-to section. But generally speaking, I do all the turning myself. Just seems like it works a little bit better. Hunter was asking, when you are done with the map, you should sell the cows, milk, slurry, manure, sell all of it. Figure out how much you get. Well, at least for the cows, that number is relatively easy to figure out. If you have 10,000 cows and they sell at $5,000 a piece, yes, folks, we're doing math. I know most of you are probably out of school at this point, but a little bit of math never hurt anybody. Should be able to figure out how much we would get from that right there. So again, 10,000 cows times $5,000 a piece. It is a rather large number. And keep in mind as well, that is pretty much how much we had to spend to get these cows. Not counting the reproduction. Of course, some of them are being reproduced. But still, the majority of them were purchased. In fact, I'm going to say by the time we're all said and done, at least 75, if not 90% of the cows were purchased, as opposed to having reproduced. Mike was saying, finally got to be the first. Keep up the good videos. Thank you very much for that. Tanja was asking, where do you live? Michigan. Farmer John was asking, you're going to try out the new Seasons mod. He says he's been playing the game more often since it was released. I'm going to have to try that on the next map. We'll see once. We'll maybe try the Seasons mod. I know multiplayer-wise, I think we said we really didn't want to do it multiplayer, but at least single-player might be kind of fun. Joe was saying, thanks for a good Texas video. Thank you very much for that. Nine RT is in traffic again. Why is the 9RT in traffic again? Oh, yeah, that's definitely in traffic. Okay. Okay, there we go. Be hard getting our field cultivated here if we got to keep getting the 9RT out of traffic. Oh, well. Tyler was saying, like your videos, I live on a small farm in Indiana, and you should add a face cam. Oh, yes, it was Chris here that was mentioning he was having trouble with the overload courses there. Can't get the pipe to unload when over the trailer. So, yeah, again, we just kind of demonstrated that whole course creation purpose there. Also noticing the other combine has been full up there for a while. Kind of keeping an eye on that. RT. He's not going anywhere. Let's check. Is the combine off the field, I wonder? Nope. He's on the field. Oh, he's in trap again? Really? Seriously? We just fixed this. Still need to update my version of Courseplay here as well. And somebody did point out in the comments. It seems like they've fixed some of the derpy issues with it. So, still using the older version here yet. Really need to work on updating that. Looks like we're still working okay over here. Have to maybe get Big Bud out here next episode and start planting these fields. Anyway, folks, with that, I think we'll wrap up the video here. Again, if you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and till next time.